Hey everybody, this is the Mage of Ancients and I'm back with another weekly vlog. Before we get to today's topic, I do want to say thank you to all the subscribers who have been sticking by me over the past week or so. I have been pretty busy with work and life and stuff. But anyway, if you guys haven't checked out my Extreme Force Special Edition pack opening video that I uploaded either last week or this past week, then be sure to check that out. But in the meantime, we're going to get to today's topic for this weekly vlog. So today's topic is about the upcoming April or May 2018 ban list, whichever comes first. So what decks should be affected by this ban list? Well, I think the most obvious are the two best decks in the format right now, Pendulum Magicians and True Dracos. So let's get started with Pendulum Magicians. Should Astrograph Sorcerer be limited? I think it should, and I think it's definitely going to happen. Just so, I mean, it happens all the time, doesn't it? That maybe all these at least one or two meta decks just happen to perform so well at all these events that Konami just needs to hinder their consistency just so it can make it more balanced. So just so that the deck can be a bit more balanced for everybody, right? Surprisingly to me, this actually works in tandem with Heavy Metal Foes Electromite and Wavering Eyes. It took me some time to think about how Wavering Eyes can work well with Astrograph Sorcerer, and then I realized what Wavering Eyes does is that it activates multiple effects depending on the number of pendulum monsters that are in the pendulum zones. So while you're destroying cards in the pendulum zones, you're also adding Astrograph Sorcerer from your deck to your hand. And since cards that you control were destroyed, that you can special summon your Astrograph and activate its effect from there. And like I said, it works in tandem with Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. So what Electromite does is that Electromite lets you destroy a card that you control, and then you can add a pendulum monster from your extra deck back to your hand. And in this case, if you destroy a card on your field and then you add Astrograph Sorcerer from your extra deck, then you can special summon it and activate its effect. Speaking of Electromite, should Electromite get limited as well? I definitely think that it should. Only because players are just so used to abusing monsters and cards that do not have a hard once per turn. The only hard once per turn effect that Electromite comes with is the last effect. If a card leaves your pendulum zone, then you draw one card. I just have this hunch that Konami never intended for players to abuse the effects of Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, and hence to just run multiple copies of it in one deck. Same hunch I have for Astrograph Sorcerer. I don't think Konami ever intended for pendulum players to overuse the abilities of Astrograph and Electromite just so these players can get a huge potential advantage over their opponents. And the next archetype I think should definitely take a hit on the ban list is True Dracos, most particularly with Dragonic Diagram and Masterpiece of True Draco Slaying King. If you guys saw my first weekly vlog, then you may remember my theory that I pretty much created only because Zodiacs were meta relevant. And that theory was that an archetype should have at least 1 year to be meta relevant before it can actually take that huge hit on the ban list after its a year of meta relevance ends. But in all honesty, that was really just a crazy theory that I had. And just take a look at what happened. Back in February 2017, Raging Tempest was released, and hence the debut of the meta-defining Zodiac archetype. But fast forward to September 2017, I think it was 7 months later, and the new ban list arrives, and Zodiacs just take the hugest hit that it could ever get. And now people really don't play Zodiacs anymore because Broad Bull and Dryden are just gone. They're banned altogether. I think that should be the same case for True Dracos, because Masterpiece is just a really, really good card. I mean, it's immune to pretty much any effect of the same type of card that is tributed for its tribute summon, right? I think that's how the effect works. So if a monster was tributed for its tribute summon and a spell was tributed, then it's immune to monster and spell effects. And I think the same should be said for Dragonic Diagram. I mean, just ban both of these cards altogether, both Masterpiece of True Draco Slaying King and Dragonic Diagram. Not only does Dragonic Diagram prevent your True Dracos from being destroyed once per turn, but its destruction ability can chain off so many other effects, hence the reason why you see some people running like True King Dinosaurs, right? Not only does Dragonic Diagram prevent your True Dracos from being destroyed once per turn, but it's also a massively powerful destruction and search card all rolled into one. Just so you guys know, dinosaurs are still pretty meta relevant today, and it's a good budget deck too. But combine dinosaurs with True Dracos and even Dragonic Diagram, you have a very good hybrid but combine dinosaurs with Dragonic Diagram as well as some other True Draco cards, and you get a pretty good hybrid deck that just managed to make it through almost 1 year of meta relevance. Seriously guys, if True King Dinosaurs still make it through this next ban list, I don't know what to do. So those cover the top 2 meta decks. So what other decks are there to talk about? Oh, well, there are Trickstars. There are some people out there who are speculating that after Pendulum Magicians and True Dracos lose their meta relevance, then people are going to lean more in favor of Trickstars. And the reason why people like Trickstars is because of Trickstar Reincarnation. In case you guys don't know what that does, Trickstar Reincarnation forces your opponent to banish their entire hand and draw the same number of cards. And what's worse is that after they draw those cards from their deck, then the person who activated Reincarnation can just drop a Droll and Lockbird, and the player who is affected by Reincarnation is just forced from adding any other cards from their deck. That's pretty good and pretty scary if you ask me. So what's my view on Trickstars? Well, I think they're a very good burn deck, and I still think that people are going to continue playing Trickstars throughout the rest of this year. As for Reincarnation, I think it should be limited or banned, but I personally don't think that it's going to happen. Any Trickstar player out there is just using Trickstars as a burn deck and not an aggro deck. In other words, I think Trickstars have a good defense, but not a very good offense. So I think that until we get some mad support over the next couple of sets, like Battles of Legend, Relentless Revenge, or Flames of Destruction, then I don't think Trickstars are going to get hit on the next ban list. In my personal opinion, I think that Trickstars need a very, very good and powerful boss monster in order to take the archetype to the next level. Also, it's a good thing that I'm recording this vlog just now, because just yesterday, there has been some leaks about the upcoming OCG imports for Flames of Destruction, which is released in the beginning of May. And the OCG imports for Flames of Destruction have just been very underwhelming for a lot of people. For me, it doesn't underwhelm me as much. I mean, at least we're getting the cards now. Better late than never, right? Anyway, a lot of people, including myself, were suspecting that Crystron Needle Fiber and Cherubini Dark Angel of the Burning Abyss, either or even both, are going to be released in Flames of Destruction. But it looks like that we're not getting them. So instead, we're getting the new Shaddoll, Insector, and Madolche Link monsters. The Madolche Link monster, I haven't really studied the archetype well enough to understand how relevant it is to Madolches. But what I really want to talk about are Shaddolls and Insectors, mainly because of these new Link monsters. So, this could be a sign. If Shaddoll Construct is going to be released in Flames of Destruction, and since the El Shaddoll fusion spells have been shown a little love over the past couple of ban lists, then I think that this could be a good sign that El Shaddoll Construct could be making a comeback. So far, we have only seen people combine Shaddolls with dinosaurs, but that's pretty much it. So what I would really love to see is El Shaddoll Construct make a comeback. At least bring it back to 1, just so as Shaddolls can be meta relevant again. As for Insectors, I think it's great that the Insector Link monster gives some decent support to the archetype, but I think it's better to just let Insector Hornet and Insector Dragonfly off the ban list, just because Insectors aren't meta relevant anymore, especially since Master Rule 4 has been introduced. Also, Insector Hornet is not a quick effect or during either player's turn effect, right? That was it called? You could target one card in the field and destroy it? That's not a quick effect or during either player's turn effect. So I don't see any harm in releasing Hornet from the ban list. And just in case you guys don't know, Dragonfly lets you special summon Insector monsters from your deck. So I don't think there is any harm in releasing Dragonfly from the ban list either. What the next ban list should do is that, if not meta relevant again, then the next ban list should at least make Insectors cool again. And finally, it may not be as relevant to me just because I don't play heroes, but I think it is very relevant to a lot of other people just because they like this card as well. And this card is Elemental Hero Stratos. There have been a lot of people out there who are saying that this card, Elemental Hero Stratos, should get released for the ban list. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen just because it does not have a hard once per turn effect, or any once per turn effect for that matter. But you have to realize that Elemental Hero Stratos is capable of searching out Honest Neos. And Honest Neos presents a hero dex with a very good beatdown strategy. So for the sake of everybody out there who want Elemental Hero Stratos unbanned, then seriously, I think this card needs to get unbanned ASAP. So that's my quick weekly vlog on the upcoming ban list, guys. What do you guys like to see get unbanned or limited or banned on the next ban list? Be sure to leave your predictions down in the comments below. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to help support the channel, then be sure to hit that like button. Comment below with what other Yu-Gi-Oh videos you guys would like to see, and of course, be sure to subscribe. It helps out a ton with this channel. And of course, be sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know on when I upload brand new Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I'll see you next time.